So Shreyak, welcome to Sunday Brunch with Toppers. I'm glad that now I can say that my student is there.
What kind of paper is this? Then I told myself, just stay calm. I took a deep breath. Don't give up. I will go all out. I will go attempt 100 questions and follow your strategy.
कैसा था experience means में? First time जब दे रहे थे. When you came to meet me also, you said कि सर हमें coaching नहीं लेनी. You decided to come offline to MAP where Mudad sir was teaching and everything else was happening. So how did you decide?
For me, at a personal level, credibility matters a lot. So above all this, if I have to put one thing that attracted me towards you, that was the credibility. My strategy is right. I've got the right kind of direction and help. Your GS3 course just helped me a lot just to summarize the whole of the GS3 paper. Otherwise, we all know that GS3 is just never-ending thing.
So Shreyak, welcome to Sunday Brunch with Toppers, although this is not a Sunday. But again, welcome to Sunday Brunch with Toppers. And this is just an informal conversation where I'm going to talk to you about your journey and how it's been.
Thank you very much.
So firstly, I'm starting this series with Shreyak because there's a lot of similarities between the two of us. Shreyak here is also a doctor, also had foreign service as his first preference. And I wanted to be in the foreign service, but I'm glad that now I can say that my student is there. So Shreyak, firstly, I'll start off with the most, how do you say, typical and most cliched question. What were you doing at the time of the result and how did it feel?
Sir, actually, at the time of the result, I was watching your ecology video of Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. So I was preparing for the next prelims, and suddenly I received a message that, are you AIR 35? So I knew that it was a credible message, and I knew that there is only one name in the list. So I was very happy at that moment. And it was a surreal feeling at that moment. I told my parents, they were also very happy. We were just dancing, laughing out about it. So yes, it was a great feeling, a feeling that I will take to my grave, definitely.
Yeah. So one thing that seems interesting from what you've said is that you were preparing for the next prelims.
Yes, sir.
So how did you manage that? I mean, abhi third attempt tha ye.
Yes,
right? So fourth attempt dena, this was sure beforehand that you have to give another attempt?
Yes, sir. It was sure that I will be going for another attempt. If you ask me, to be frank, I was expecting that I will get into the services somewhere around rank 200 to 300. But my sole objective for pursuing this exam was to get into the foreign services. So yes, I knew that I have to prepare for this prelims. Even if I get into the services, then I will go for the rank improvement. So that was the motivation behind me for preparing and just keeping that anxiety out of the way of the results and to keep studying.
But यार ऐसे इंटरव्यू देने के बाद मन करता है पढ़ने का, जैसे मेरा नहीं किया था. Honestly, I did not feel like studying after I had given my interview.
Definitely not, sir. मन तो बिल्कुल नहीं करते. 10th January को interview हो गया था. So for the next 20 days, I traveled a lot. I literally just did nothing apart from traveling. But by the time of the Feb, I started to prepare for the next prelims.
All right. So let's now start with however you started your UPSC journey. Where did you do your MBBS from and how did you take this decision?
So, sir, I graduated from Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Medical Sciences. That's in Sevagram, Wardha in Maharashtra. I completed my MBBS by end of 2022. So, sir, during my internship phase, I was well on my path to pursue foreign residency. But an eventful interaction with then British High Commissioner who visited to our college to had a talk changed my direction. Because he primarily talked about how India's influence in the global world is rising. He talked about how India is becoming pivotal to addressing global issues. So when he was telling all these things, I hit a realization that, okay, a British High Commissioner is telling so much things and I'm going to their country to pursue foreign residency. So that was the moment. And he was there with whole of his entourage. So there were two persons who were Indians, all suited and booted up. And I literally went to them at that moment and I asked them, कि ये जो ब्रिटेन में करते हैं ये करने के लिए इंडिया में क्या करना पड़ता है? तो दे सेड कि यूपीएससी सिविल सर्विसेज एग्जामिनेशन देना पड़ता है. तो मैंने उनसे पूछा कि आप क्या करते हैं? कहते वी वर्क फॉर द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स. सो आफ्टर दैट मोमेंट आई वेंट टू माई हॉस्टल, searched on the Ministry of External Affairs website, searched on the UPSC Civil Service Examination, what it is all about. So I came across an internship by Ministry of External Affairs. And in that process, you have to write a statement of purpose that why you want to pursue this internship.
Right.
So while writing that statement of purpose, it became a lot of clarity for me that if I want to shift from doctor to a civil servant, then why I want to shift it. So once I got clarity with that conviction, so I dived into this preparation afterwards. So yes, sir, that was the moment which literally thrusted me or deflected me towards into the civil services examination prep.
चलो अब मैं आपसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ जो मेरे को which I was not asked in the interview, but मैं डरता बहुत था उस क्वेश्चन से. आपको नहीं लगता आपने मेडिकल की सीट वेस्ट कर दी है?
So I think it's not exactly, I would call it a waste, because I have broadened my canvas. I have got more opportunities to work upon.
नहीं, इंटरव्यू वाला आंसर नहीं चाहिए, एक्चुअल आंसर. No, but seriously, like, do you think, like, you know, being in medicine, which I think is also a very good career.
Yes, sir, definitely.
If you're coming here, do you really think those skills are transferable, or do you think this is a completely different ball game? Like, अभी से preparation की बात करते हैं. Being a doctor, do you think it helps prepare better?
Yes, sir, definitely. It helps you to prepare better, because
Okay.
as a medical student, you have to study a lot. You have to study long hours. You have to learn a lot of things. You have to mug up a lot of like those different kind of words in the medical science. So it definitely helps you into the UPSC preparation examination. Like I remember when I started to prepare, when I came back from college to home, I did not have much difficulty in like studying for 8 to 10 hours on a daily basis consistently. Just because I was coming from a medical school where you have to study for long hours. So if you talk about the prep, yes, it definitely helps, sir.
So in college, like,
Yes,
for example, throughout your college, you did not know you were going to do UPSC or
Yes, sir.
prepare for the civil services. But us time pe bhi you were saying you were preparing about 8 to 10 hours or studying at least 8 to 10 hours daily.
So in the first and the second year, I did not study much in the medical
वो
school
तो होता ही
as most of the other students. But in third and the fourth year, the final year, that was the COVID time. So I had a lot of time at my hands. So yes, I did study for almost 6 to 8 hours, you can say. That was the output.
Just for reference for somebody who is not a medical student, जो हमारा फाइनल ईयर का सिलेबस है, अगर आप उसकी सारी बुक्स इकट्ठी कर लो तो यूपीएससी के सिलेबस के 3 times हो जाता है वो.
Definitely, sir. That's totally true.
Right. So, chalo, let me ask you a slightly difficult question. You said you came to, you interacted with the Honorable British High Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
And you decided that, okay, I want to go to the foreign service. Let's say nahi hota foreign service mein. Like, I'm very glad that you've made it, and
Yes, sir.
you know, and definitely you're going to the foreign service. You are ranked 35, and so there's no doubt also. But let's say आप इस बार attempt देते हो और आपका foreign service में नहीं होता.
Yes, sir.
और फिर आप अगले साल भी attempt देते हो और फिर भी foreign service में नहीं होता. So did you think of that scenario? And if yes, what would you do?
Yes, sir. I have thought of that scenario.
Hmm.
Actually, I said to my dad, give me 2 attempts, like 1 year for prep and 1 year of exam cycle. If I get into the foreign service, that's good enough. Otherwise, I will leave this journey and will go to my plan B. That's the medical science.
Okay. So, but let's say you were in the IRS, for example,
Yes, sir.
and then what would you do?
Sir,
Would
if
you
I
give
would have
again?
been in the IRS, I would have given the exam again for improvement.
Right. So, but the plan B was already sorted. When you came into the journey, even then the plan B was sorted.
Sir, in fact, like after giving my personality test on 10th of January, so in the Feb, I sorted out my plan B with my parents. Okay, so if I'm not able to make it into the second attempt, and let's say the 2025 attempt goes out to waste, if I fail in the prelims, then what I'm going to do? So that was already sorted out by the end of second attempt. And I think it's very necessary that after you have given 2 attempts at this examination, you must have a plan B as a backup.
Right. And for you, that plan B was just going back to medicine.
Yeah, going back to being a doctor, sir.
Does having this plan B, the fact that you had it, does it make you less worried or less scared in the exam hall?
Yes, sir, definitely. It helps you to relieve your stress, not only just in the exam hall, but daily in your preparation. But on the downside, there is an opinion that some people have that if you have a plan B, you don't give your all to a plan A. But I think that depends upon your conviction, that how badly you want, how hungry are you for the service that you want. So yes, sir, it definitely helps.
Right. If I had to ask you, there is, let's say, one quality that is the most important throughout this journey to make it into the final list, what would you say?
So I think that would be patience.
Okay.
In fact, I had 3 qualities that I have prepared that I was working on. That's the 3P, the patience, perseverance, and positivity. But if I have to like choose one among them, that would be the patience, because there will be moments of frustration. There will be moments where you won't understand where you are going. There will be moments of very much darkness. But in those moments, you have to just stay calm, keep doing your work, have an optimistic mindset, and just keep persevering it and keep doing your practice. You will find your way.
Right. So, in these 3 years, first attempt, as you said, was not with a lot of preparation. Uske baad 2 attempts with preparation.
Yes, sir.
What was the most frustrating moment in this journey, and how did you deal with it?
So the most frustrating moment in this journey was March of 2024. That was the time when I was switching from mains prep to prelims prep for 2024.
Okay.
But I think that was a time when I was really fatigued out because I was continuously studying for the last almost, you can say, 14 months. And I was studying under social isolation. So I thought that my mental health was totally breaking down at that moment. So at that moment, I took a 10-day break from my studies, met my cousins, celebrated Holi with them, and just enjoyed a life like apart from the UPSC. So that thing helped me a lot.
Right. So let's now talk about your, the attempts that you've given.
Yes, sir.
The first attempt you said was without preparation. Right?
Yes, sir.
So it was right out of internship?
No, sir. It was during my internship.
Okay. In which year was that?
Sir, it was 2022.
2022. Do you think that was a good idea?
Yes, sir. I do think that was a good idea because when I just told you a story about like how I decided to go for civil services prep, and I had nobody to guide. Whenever you go on YouTube or any other internet, you are overwhelmed by the amount of information that is available for the UPSC.
Right.
So my thought process was, okay, let's take a dive into this ocean and we'll learn to swim later. So that 2022 prep did not give me confidence, but it gave me a belief, okay, this thing can be done and I can go on this side. So that was the moment when I left my plans of foreign residency and decided, okay, let's complete my MBBS first and then we will start this preparation.
So जब आपने 2022 में attempt दिया, you had not studied at all.
No, sir, I did not study at all.
तो कैसा रहा prelims का experience?
Sir, actually, it was a funny experience because I marked all 100 questions. Some questions were like Jai Mata Di, ABCD. They were also like that. But overall, you can say when you read those questions, and you come from a background where you have already solved MCQs, so you have an experience, so you are able to understand, okay, what kind of questions they are trying to ask. So yes, in a sense, you can say that it helps.
CSAT clear हुआ था 2022 में?
Yes, sir, definitely. I was decent enough with maths and English, you can say, so it was clear.
So your reason of becoming a doctor is different from my reason of becoming a doctor. My reason of becoming a doctor is that I don't know maths. So 2022 is when I got selected.
Yes, sir.
मेरा I think 80 marks थे CSAT में. तो बड़ी मुश्किल से मेरा CSAT clear हुआ था उससे. But good to hear. फिर then what happened after that? You gave the exam and ठीक है आपने paper दिया, 100 के 100 question mark कर दिए. Then once you came home, what happened and what did you decide and what changed?
Sir, I think the prelims of that year was on 5th of June 2022. The very next day I went back to my college. I had almost 5 to 6 months of internship left. First, I decided that I will complete my internship. So by November, I had completed my internship, and December I took for some time outs for some traveling. And then from January of 2023, I wholeheartedly jumped into this preparation.
So in those 6 months, जब internship चल रही थी, then also you did not study a lot.
No, sir, because in internship, you don't get a lot of time to study.
So just for context, any medical internship in a good college, for example, he's from Wardha, which is one of the best colleges in the country, you don't get a lot of time to study at all. पूरे दिन की duties होती हैं. 2022, so a lot of COVID patients also, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir, at that moment also.
Right. So 2022 चला गया and you've not studied at all.
Yes, sir. But here I would like to point out something, sir. I did not study it, but I was going through the topper stocks. I was going through the previous topper blogs. Like here I would like to mention Pratyush Pandey sir's and Anudeep Shetty sir's blog. Like those two blogs helped me a lot and gave me a lot of insight what this exam actually demands. So I was just going through them so that I can build a basic foundation to understand what this examination demands.
तो optional का decision ले लिया था तब तक? या नहीं लिया था?
Yes, sir. I have taken the optional decision, and there was only one factor on which basis I have taken that I will continue with medical science as optional. That is, सीधा बोलूँ तो सर मेरे अंदर courage नहीं था optional change करने का.
तो काफी पढ़ाई कर ली थी.
Yes, sir.
And unlike me, you were probably serious in college. तो आपने मतलब college में भी थोड़ी पढ़ाई कर ली होगी.
Yes, sir. तो थोड़ा final year के subjects अच्छे से prepare कर लिए थे.
So you decided you'll stick with medical science before you had started preparing for GS.
Yes, sir, definitely. And it was also because it was my plan B.
So since you're okay, you're studying for medical science. So अगर even if something goes wrong here, so you can go back and give NEET PG.
Yes, sir.
Which is a good way to.
Yeah, decent enough option, sir.
ठीक है. फिर January आ गए आप and like now you've started studying. How did you start? Don't tell me any strategy of वो तो I think आप खुद ही कह रहे हो YouTube पे बहुत ज़्यादा information है.
Yes, sir.
उसके लिए I am also responsible. कुछ ज़्यादा information मैंने भी डाल रखी है.
No, sir.
But like seriously, how did you start? कैसे? What were you thinking at that time, and what did you do when you had to start?
Sir, actually, by the time of January, I had planned out a strategy purely on the basis of the topper stocks and the Pratyush Pandey sir's blogs and Anudeep Shetty sir's blog. So I went into an algorithmic pattern. Like first, I saw the syllabus. From that, I picked a topic. studied its PYQs. Then I went to the basics, and basics I ruthlessly restricted to NCRTs. If I have to build foundations of economic, I went to microeconomics, macroeconomics NCRT. For political theories, NCRT. For ecology, biology, class 12, 4 chapters of NCRT. And then I went to the advanced thing. Advanced thing was also very limited, like only one standard book for every subject and only newspapers. So this was the algorithmic pattern which I kept on following for the next 5 to 6 months until the 2023 prelims.
चलो अब खुल के जवाब देना है इसका.
Yes,
No restriction यहाँ बिल्कुल. What was your attitude towards coaching? I know this answer, but
Yes,
I
sir.
want everybody to hear it.
Yes, sir. So actually, my attitude towards coaching came from my previous experience during the NEET UG, and it was one of the 3 things I told my dad that I won't go for that thing. I won't attend coaching. First of all, I will give my all. I will do self-study. If I'm not able to understand, then I only will go for coaching. For me, the principle behind coaching was I will prepare my basics myself. If I feel weak somewhere or where I'm not able to actually understand the things, only there I will take help and not coaching. That's why I didn't join any foundation course.
So no coaching. आप 2023 में आपने 6 महीने पढ़ाई करी.
Yes, sir.
You are studying by yourself,
Yes,
and you said that okay, I won't take coaching, and you went and gave the 2023 prelims.
Yes, sir.
कैसा रहा 2023 का prelims?
So it was amazing, and I scored well above cutoff, and I was happy that my strategy worked out, because on those 5-6 months, I worked on basically 3 pillars for the prelims. That was building conceptual clarity. Secondly, doing PYQs again and again on like a repeat mode. And third thing was like building up my strategy for solving the exam on the day, for solving the prelims. Like how many questions do I have to attempt? How will I go about those questions? Where do I have to take a guesswork? Where do I have not to take a guesswork?
Right.
Which questions to leave? So it was good enough, sir.
तो देखो जो 2023 का prelims था, that was very tough.
Yes,
right? It was very difficult to handle also. Cutoff was also pretty low as far as I remember, somewhere around 75 marks. Right?
Yes, sir.
So, like, what did you do at that time? Like, paper देखते ही एकदम से तो लगा होगा वो pair based questions बहुत सारे. I think about 40 questions of 1 pair only, 2 pair, 3 pair, 4 pair, ऐसे about 40 questions like that. तो कैसे handle किया paper में? Like, what was the thing you did in the exam hall?
Sir, exactly. If I tell you the moment of the exam hall, I had a like strategy before. Like my first words on my prelims paper was stay calm, don't give up, and follow your strategy. And as soon as I opened the paper, and I saw the density of words was very high on each paper. And as you said, those multiple choice questions, I had a broad smile on my face. What kind of paper is this? Then I told myself, just stay calm. I took a deep breath. Don't give up. I will go all out. I will go attempt 100 questions and follow your strategy. So that's my motive.
So 2023 maybe you attempted all 100 questions.
Sir, I attempted 99 questions. And in fact, the one question that I have to leave, it was pre-decided. I will leave one question from history. So it was all pre-decided that I will go for 99 questions, leave one question for history.
So, okay. So in 2023, this is very interesting. 2023 ke tough paper maybe you decided to attempt all 100 questions.
Yes, sir.
Or 99 as you said. If you don't mind me asking, what was the score you got finally?
Sir, I think it was 97, somewhere in between 97 to 98. Exact decimal places I don't know.
20 marks above cutoff.
Yes, sir.
20 marks above cutoff. That's great. I mean, 20 marks above cutoff is a lot. So, and ये कहाँ से आई ये strategy कि नहीं मेरे को 100 के 100 ही attempt करने?
Sir, actually I practiced, first of all, I practiced the PYQs in exactly the prelims mode. Like from 2013 till the recent most paper, I practiced them almost thrice in the exam mode. Then I gave some test series. So basically this strategy evolved from that I will be attempting these many questions and I will go in one go. Not 2 times, not 3 times.
अच्छा, no multiple rounds also.
No multiple rounds also. यहाँ टिक किया, वहीं पे पेपर में मार्क कर दो. No overthinking, no double thinking. Just go for it.
And also you would bubble alongside. मतलब
Yes,
जैसे
sir.
question किया तो साथ में you would bubble. No, you would not wait for the second round or wait later for bubbling.
Yes, sir. I did not want to give a second thought. That's why I went into straight.
So one go and all questions in one go.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And clearly this has worked. Is this what you did in 2024 also?
Yes, sir. I did this very same strategy. I just repeated it in the 2024.
And again, how many questions did you attempt and what was the score?
Again, 99 questions. One question left of history. And score is around, I think, sir, 90 to 91 decimal places in between.
कुछ मतलब history से specific दिक्कत है आपको एक
No, sir. Actually, so the return on investment on history is very, very low. So the subject which I least studied was the history. So I knew if there is a question which I don't know anything about from history, I will leave that question.
Okay, so but let's say attempting 100 only, like
Yes, sir.
attempting as many. Okay, चलो 2023 का prelims आपने दे दिया है,
Yes, sir.
and you've come back. उसी दिन check किया था?
Yes, sir. I checked on that day.
And क्या लगा उस दिन check करके? लग गया होगा कि हो रहा है?
Sir, I was very sure that I will be able to clear it. Not because I was scoring, I was getting 60 or 61 correct, but because the paper was very tough and the cutoff will definitely go down.
Right. नहीं 97 में तो otherwise also you can be sure.
Yes,
Although considering the answer keys that UPSC is now making, आप check करना मुश्किल है, but हाँ मतलब एक decent certainty तो आप बता सकते हो.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, आप वापस आए, आपने check कर लिया. Now what? क्या किया उसके बाद?
So then I took a 2-day break. Actually, I had a meeting at passport office, so enjoyed some daily out. Then I started to prepare for mains.
So just 2 days later, did not wait for the result.
Yes, sir.
Which is important, and just started preparing for mains. इस
Yes.
time पे I'm assuming आपका optional decently prepared होगा. But
No, sir. Optional was the only thing which was not prepared at this
Okay.
moment. Because in the first 6 months, I covered the basic syllabus of the GS for the ethics. Optional, I did not study.
तो कैसे रहे वो 3 महीने? I mean, those 3 months between pre and mains, I think they are the worst time in this preparation for at least your mental health, also for your physical health. I think it's the worst time. सबसे ज़्यादा मेहनत, सबसे ज़्यादा stress तब होता है. तो how did you navigate those 3 months?
So yes, sir, I totally agree with you that mains for me was a monster because I was not that very good with the writing skills. For MCQs and prelims, I had a decent bit of confidence. So first of all, I think the most important thing that helped me was the prioritization. Which subject is going to give me the most marks with relatively less amount of effort. So when I had this prioritization order fixed, I was able to focus my efforts in that direction.
So how did you prioritize?
So prioritization was very simple. Medical science optional 2, then medical science optional 1, then essay, then ethics, then GS2, then GS1, then GS3.
मतलब जो सब्जेक्ट मैं पढ़ाता हूँ वो सबसे नीचे. ठीक है, fair enough. But yeah, I mean this is fair. But I mean if I were you, I would probably place ethics higher than medical science optional. But
Yes.
I mean fair enough. ठीक है, तो ये priority order set था.
Yes, sir.
तो कैसे अब बताओ वो 3 महीने में कैसे कैसे like how did it go and what did you feel?
So for those 3 months, I dedicated my most of the time to medical science, essay and ethics. So it was totally clear that okay, I have to read GS bit less. And as you said, those are physically, mentally and emotionally, literally it devastates you. So I joined yoga classes. Basically, my mom teach me yoga. So in the morning, 1 hour of yoga helps you to like put in those 6 to 7 hours of dedicated effort. So yoga was one great thing which helped me during that prep. And secondly, sir, I was also thinking, okay, this is really my first attempt only. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या बिगड़ जाएगा, क्या नुकसान हो जाएगा, तो let's go all out. So that attitude also helped me a lot.
Did you cry at some point during that time, or some point when you must have been, let's say, down in the dumps? वो 3 महीने में.
No, sir, I won't say I cried, but I danced like anything in my room by closing that door. Maybe that was my way of getting out the emotions.
Okay, the worst thing that you felt in those 3 months, because I remember when in both my attempts in those 3 months, it's probably been very very difficult to navigate. So उन 3 महीने में सबसे खराब क्या हुआ और उसे आपने मैनेज कैसे किया?
Sir, I don't remember that those 3 months were the worst because I would say the mains of 2024, those 3 months were the worst. In fact, those 3 months were very exciting for me because it was the first time I'm going to write mains. So I had that bit of excitement, which I think overruled the most of the other feelings. So if you will ask the same question for 2024 mains, I would be able to better answer.
Right. तो ठीक है, we'll come to that.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, you gave the mains and it was in, must be in September, right? In 2023.
Yes, sir. It ranged from 15th of September. It started from 15th of September.
कैसा था experience mains में? First time जब दे रहे थे?
So for the first time, I like literally felt like a test match. That how a cricketer must have felt in a test match. I literally felt like that. Like your hands were totally constrained. You felt your muscles are undergoing spasm. You were totally mentally exhausted. Totally. And yes, sir, it was a one hell of an experience.
Looking back, is there one thing you could have done better in that first attempt that you did not do?
Sir, if I look retrospectively, I don't think anything could have been done better. So I think I did decent enough. I in fact scored 716 in that means. That was 25 marks away from cutoff. So once the results were out, when the mark sheets were out, I knew that this time I can clear mains also.
ठीक है, तो first mains you gave and then you are 25 नंबर से मेंस रह गया है, राइट,
Yes, sir.
इफेक्टिवली, बट यू डोंट नो दैट आफ्टर द मेंस.
Yes, sir.
मेंस के बाद आपको नहीं पता होता, तो आपको क्या लग रहा था मेंस के बाद?
So after means I felt that I have done decent enough in medical science, but I knew I'm lacking in essay and ethics. So I was very clear that after means, almost 15 days after means, I took a break, and that I started after prep for essay and ethics. That those were the two subjects that I wanted to target. So I started to prepare for them.
So I think this is a very important message that आपने मेंस के बाद ब्रेक नहीं लिया. Like,
No, sir, I took a 15-day break.
15 days a small break.
Yes, sir.
Right? That's what I meant. Like most people after mains, and deservedly also, take long break of 2-3 months till the mains result. And I think वो बहुत crucial time होता है खुद को improve करने के लिए.
Yes, sir. In fact, that is the make or break moment, I think. If you have given a mains and you are going to give next attempt, then those 6 months, like November, December, January, February, March, those are the make or break months for your mains.
Right. मुझे लगता है कि जैसे March, April, May, maybe Feb also, these are times when everybody studies because दिख रहा होता है कि prelims आने वाला है.
Yes, sir.
But the months of November, December, January, or the months right after, let's say somebody doesn't clear the prelims, तो उसके बाद जो 2-3 महीने होते हैं, जो टेंडेंसी होती है वेस्ट करने की, कि यार अब ठीक है, नेक्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में तो अभी 1 साल पढ़ा है या 6 महीने पढ़े हैं. I think that is what creates the difference. And like, would you agree with that? And have you felt that?
Yes, I totally agree with that, because those 3 months of October, November and December, I totally give to my essay and ethics preparation. And this time, in fact, I have increased my score in essay and ethics, and they are one thing like responsible for me clearing the mains this time.
Right. All right. So when the result of the mains came,
yes, sir,
of 2023,
yes, sir,
I'm sure, like, did you know पहले से कि नहीं हो रहा है? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Like I said to my dad, if like I will be very surprised if I go into the next round, and I will be not surprised if I don't make
मतलब
it.
खुद का आपको लग रहा था कि अगर हो जाता तो ज़्यादा शॉक होते आप.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you had that result, but I'm sure did that affect you? मतलब अगर आपको पता था कि नहीं हो रहा है तो you were
No, sir, it did not affect it at all. In fact, the result was on very much expected lines. I did decent enough with medical science. Essay and ethics were totally bashed up. So I was, in fact, it gave me more confidence that result is being announced in April, and I have given the last 3 months, like November, December and January, in the right direction for preparation of essay and ethics.
तो जब आपने marksheet देखी, you felt that essay ethics ही मेरा, like you at least estimated कि मेरा essay ethics खराब है, and then when you had worked on that also, marksheet में भी वो चीज़ validate हो गई.
Yes, sir. It was like a validation only.
Right. All right. So now we come to 2024 prelims.
Yes, sir.
आपकी strategy तो है ही 99 questions वाली, but was there more pressure the second time?
Yes, sir. It was because the stakes were rising, because the attempts were increasing. You are almost for 1.5 years away from your medical science. You are losing out on the clinical skills, and if you don't make it this time, you don't know what you are going to do for the next 1 year. So yes, definitely the pressures and the stakes were very high this time.
So would you say it was more difficult to prepare for the second prelims than it was for the first one, like 2024 compared to 23?
Yes, sir. It was more difficult. In fact, just to get yourself studied, just to remove that pressure away from yourself, and just to not think of the consequences or the result, it was slightly more difficult. And I think that is the reason my marks have also decreased in prelims this time. In fact, with more preparation, much more better preparation, much more like rectification and more conceptual clarity.
Right. मतलब मुझे लगता है कि it is not only a game of how well prepared you are. I mean, of course that matters.
Yes, sir.
But it's also about how you're thinking mentally. अगर जैसे आप बता रहे हो first वाले में you were more excited and happy, and in the second one there was more pressure. So with that pressure in the second time, it's always more difficult to deliver on the exam day. And I think that's what happened. मतलब,
yes, sir.
In 2023 it's 20 marks above cutoff. In 2024 it's 5 marks above cutoff. I'm sure you had much more knowledge in 2024 attempt.
Yes, sir, right? Definitely. And so just to give a comparison, the whole 1 year of 2023 prep, I enjoyed it totally. From the heart, I'm saying it, I enjoyed it. But for the whole of the 2024 prep, I totally like mentally, physically, totally stressed out, emotionally volatile, feeling stress, fear, insomnia, fatigue, weight loss, everything was there in 2024 attempt.
All right. So 2024 का prelims हुआ. Again, वापस आके check किया होगा उसी दिन.
Yes, sir. And I said to my dad, this time it's 50-50. And they were like, why this time it's 50-50? You have prepared much more. But I knew on the outset that it's 50-50. I will need a bit of luck to get on that side.
Right. चलो अब ये question है, again you have to answer very truthfully. There are 2 sets of questions.
Yes, sir.
First, when did you first hear of me and how did you hear of me?
Yes, sir. Sir, I first hear of you when your results came out. That was the first time I came across your YouTube channel. But if you say ki when I connected you for the help, that was after the 2023 prelims or 2024 prelims. Sir.
Right. So, and this is what I wanted to ask you. So you were in MAP, if I'm recalling,
Yes,
right?
sir. I was in.
So how did you take the decision to come offline? Considering your attitude towards coaching, which you had told me, ke, when you came to meet me, also you said, ke,
yes, sir.
Sir, हमें coaching नहीं लेनी है. So you decided to come offline
yes, sir.
to MAP, where Mudit sir was teaching and everything else was happening, and like there were online lectures and Write Smart and everything. So how did you decide that?
So actually, after my 2023 means, I knew there are some areas where I have to improve. Like I knew from self-analysis, I knew what are my weaknesses. In 2023 means in ethics, I was having 100 marks. So I was clear, okay, your concept is all right.
But 100 is decent.
Yeah, that's decent. So concept is all right, but your study is all right. But now you need value addition. And when I saw Mudit sir's video, I thought he was delivering exactly the same thing. In fact, in 2023 means I scored less in GS. So I knew that I have to prepare concise notes for GS, because at that time I was not having concise notes, and that map was offering that. And I need more answer writing practice, because in 2023 means I did less answer writing practice, because I was much more focused on the medical science optional. So these were the factors which get into that decision. And moreover, sir, for me at a personal level, credibility matters a lot. So above all this, if I have to put one thing that attracted me towards you, that was the credibility.
Right. And MAP का experience कैसा था? मतलब that is the first time actually, मैं अगर आप अपने साइड से बताऊं, MAP is nothing but an offline MMP plus. मतलब उसमें सब कुछ सेम है, बस the answer writing is done offline.
Yes, sir.
हम बहुत skeptical थे, ठीक है, कि हमें करना है या नहीं, because of course we were also starting out, very difficult for us to execute, and we didn't know whether it will work well, whether it won't work well. तो मतलब it was a coin toss in the end कि करेंगे या नहीं करेंगे, and Mudit sir was saying कि नहीं, we have to do it. But we're very happy. 4 people from that MAP batch of 100 people have made it in the list, which is amazing. So there's you, there's Utkarsh, there's Komal, and there's one more person whose name I can't recall. But 4 people is a great achievement for us. But experience कैसा था? Did that help? Did the offline environment help? Or would you think अगर online होता तो भी same ही experience होता?
So to be very honest, I came in ORN on 1st of July. And when that unfortunate event happened, I went back. So to judge that experience, I had a very short duration of time. But when I followed it online, I thought it would have been a similar experience as I was having it offline. So afterwards, I followed it online, and that too also some specific courses like GS3 from you, sir, and GS4 from Mudit Jain, sir.
So you're telling me that you, at least from your vantage point, it's not very different whether you want to prepare online or offline. It does not make a lot of difference. Like I feel personally that if you are serious and inclined and working hard, then it's pretty much the same. But अगर आप थोड़े से आपको मस्ती करनी है थोड़ी सी, तो online में it's very difficult to stay consistent.
Yes, sir. But I think those who have that hunger there inside, they will just pursue it online or offline. It doesn't matter to them. And if you know that you have short time in your hands and the stakes are very high, you will just give it your all. You will be just fully dedicated to that.
Right. For consistency, what do you think is the best thing that you did? And what is the worst thing that you did? जो आपको नहीं करनी चाहिए?
So for consistency, I think the best thing is accountability. Just maintain your accountability and be it in writing, like writing down how much time you have spent where, or just using some apps. And the worst thing, that is to go on social media, just to scroll through the reels, because 2 and 3 hours, where do they get lost? You don't even know. And then afterwards, you don't feel that energy like to study.
So were you on social media during your attempts?
No, sir. In fact, even in college, I was not on social media except the WhatsApp. So for me, it was not a great deal to be off social media during the attempts.
So you were using a phone, but no social media.
I was using a phone, sir, but most of the times it was in airplane mode and it would be buried somewhere under the books. So not really.
तो जैसे social media पे भी नहीं थे, and you were preparing from your home, I think in Sonepat, as far as I can recall.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So did you not feel loneliness during the preparation at some point?
Yes, sir. In 2024, I did feel loneliness, but again, between the prelims to mains, yoga came to my rescue. My mom used to teach me yoga every day for that 1 hour in the morning, and I started to go out like on drives with my brother, and started to play something like just going out for a running. So that helped me to tackle loneliness.
Right. So अब आते हैं that most difficult question, those 3 months between prelims and mains. What was that experience like?
Sir, it was like a very bad experience. You feel you have to do a lot of things. You already have a high pressure because you have, you have to increase your marks, and you always have that constant nagging feeling that, but if you don't made it this time, that self-doubt keeps coming up. You start to have insomnia. Like there were sleepless nights throughout 3 months. I started to lose weight, but somewhere I had that like inner conviction that I want to get it done this time. My strategy is right. I've got the right kind of direction and help. Your GS3 course just helped me a lot just to summarize the whole of the GS3 paper. Otherwise, we all know that GS3 is just never ending thing. And in fact, when Mudit sir gave me value addition, like I had this strategy, quotes, example, keyword, thinker, theories. I knew इस बार ethics paper में जो पिछले साल लिखा है वही लिखना है, बस ये चीजें add कर देनी है. So that was my guiding light to get out of this dark tunnel.
Right. ठीक है, 3 महीने गए मेंस से पहले. I'm sure मतलब मेरे हिसाब से तो बहुत डिफिकल्ट टाइम होता है यार वो. मतलब
it was a hellish of a time. I knew कि I lost almost 5 kgs within the month of September only, just in that.
नहीं, ये तो अच्छी बात है ना. ये तो this is a good thing. No, I'm just kidding. Like this is actually stress-induced weight loss, which is not a good thing. And I think अगर मैं अपना याद करूँ 2022 का टाइम, तो मेरे को तो मतलब ऐसे I just wanted it to be over. कि खत्म हो किसी तरह. मतलब every day is just, अगर आप थोड़ा सा ब्रेक ले लो तो आपको गिल्ट होने लगती है.
Yes, sir.
अगर आप you even when you want to sleep and let your mind shut off, even then सपने भी उसी चीजों के आ रहे हैं, right? मतलब मेरे को तो बहुत खराब टाइम लगता है वो, but I think everybody has to go through that. I think that's the test of fire or test of time that you have to go through. वो टाइम अगर आपने मेंस में ऐसा निकाला है तभी you get the outcome in mains.
Yes, sir. But one thing, sir, like when you get the result, all that pain just vanishes away.
Right. तो मेंस के बाद फिर क्या किया? इस बार जैसे आपने मेंस दिया,
yes sir,
सेकंड मेंस था,
yes sir,
और of course you had prepared a lot more also this time.
yes sir.
तो अब what was the what did you do after that?
So after the mains was over, again I said to my dad कि I will be surprised if I don't make it to the next round this time. And I won't be
much more confident this time.
I was much more confident, and I think 29th September was the day when the mains ended, and I had already booked tickets to Kerala on 30th of September. So 10 days in God's own country, it helped me to just relax, just to get the toxic mains out of my body.
Right. And फिर वापस आके did you start studying again?
Yes sir. By almost 15th of October, I started to study again. I started again working upon my ethics and essay thing, because I knew कि here I can increase my score a lot more. And I also started to work on GS3.
So this is something that's very surprising and also inspiring कि यार constantly आप कैसे, like आपने चलो first means दिया, आपको लग रहा था आपका नहीं होगा, you came back and you started studying. That's fair. Second time आपको लग रहा है मेरा हो जाएगा.
Yes sir.
Still you came back and you started studying.
So because my mantra for the whole preparation was कि I have to focus on the progress. Whatever time I have to put it just for the progress, even if it is minute one. So that is the thing which just like keep me bringing back to the study table. Okay, this was the, and when you give your mains, you know कि these are the weak points. Like for example, I thought I did not do much well in the case studies. So on the 15th of October, I started with the case studies. कि yes, I have to nail it down. So I started with the case studies.
कभी ना कभी ऐसा लगा नहीं कि यार छोड़ देते हैं? मतलब कभी तो आई होगी ये feeling कि यार this is too much. Right? Yeah, you have never had that feeling.
Sir, at the moment I never had that feeling, because I was like, I told to my dad कि give me 2 attempts. For the 2 attempts I was totally committed, and fortunately I got out of it into the second attempt, or the second year you can say. So for those 2023 and 2024 I never had that kind of feeling.
Right. When did the result of the 2024 mains come out?
Sir, it came out on 10th of December.
10th December. All right. And you had obviously made it.
Yes sir.
So फिर उसके बाद what was the feeling after that?
So after that, it was a feeling that now I have to prepare for interview. This will be my first personality test, and I was excited much more. Okay, yes, I have made it to the interview round, and somewhere I knew that personality test I can score like on the higher side, more than average, rather than the mains, because I knew my answer writing skills are not that good. So I was excited for that phase. But here I would like to point one thing, sir. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, please go ahead.
But when we all know that mains result will be coming out in second week of December, those 10 days of December were full of anxiety. That was the 10 days I did not study at all, because I was literally dying within the anxiety whether I will be able to make it or not. Because I already had set this high expectations that I will be clearing mains this time. So that constant feeling of okay, but what if 1% you don't make it? What will you do? So those 10 days were also very harsh days, I would say.
Right. उसमें वो भी हुआ होगा टेलीग्राम पे कि आज आ रहा है, कल आ रहा है.
No sir, I was off Telegram.
चलो, good call. I think I would say. ठीक है, means was done, but your interview was on 10th January.
Yes,
so
sir.
उस टाइम पे क्या थोड़ा स्ट्रेस हुआ कि शुरू में ही इंटरव्यू है, in the first few days?
On 20th of December the schedule was announced, and when it came out ki interview is on 10th of January, and it was my first interview experience, I was totally fearful. Like I was so much fearful कि पहले अगर मैं बात कर रहा था किसी से बैठ के और अब सब मेरे से बोलती भी नहीं निकल रही थी. Literally the mains period was stressful, but I would say those 20 days of interview was more fearful. I was feared. I was totally dying out of fear ki what if I don't make it to the interview? What if I am not able to say a single word? What if I score badly in the interview? So what will happen? What will I do after 10th of January? Result will come out after 100 days almost. So what will I do? So a lot of fear was there at that moment.
And then how did you overcome that? And कैसे रहा वो 20th को अगर आपका शेड्यूल आया है और 10th को इंटरव्यू है तो हार्डली 20-25 days of interview prep.
Yes sir.
तो कैसे मैनेज किया उस टाइम को?
Sir, it was all about just studying 24/7. I was sitting at one place just trying to cover my international relations, my medical science background, local issues of Haryana, national issues that were in the news, 2 newspapers, lot of using chat GPT, and 5 to 6 mock interviews. So where those 20 days went, I don't even know till now. I did not remember whether I celebrated Christmas or not. I don't remember New Year kahan gaya, kahan nahi gaya. So it was just like 24/7 thing, and just to get it done, get it over with it.
Right. चलो, इंटरव्यू में बेस्ट मोमेंट दैट यू फेल्ट वाज जब लगा हो कि यार ये तो बढ़िया इंटरव्यू जा रहा है, एंड वर्स्ट मोमेंट व्हेन यू फेल्ट कि दिस आई शुड हैव नोन और दिस कुड हैव गॉन बेटर.
Okay, sir. So, sir, best moment was a moment where everybody laughed. Actually, my board panel chairperson was an ex-IFS officer, and I had written reading sports.
Shreyak sir's board you have?
No, sir. Shri Sanjay Verma sir.
Sanjay Verma sir's board. Okay.
And I had written reading sports biographies in my DAF. So he asked me, name any 5 athletes across any disciplines from India who are the greatest. And sports is something which I am very much emotionally invested in. So I started to rattle out in an emotional way. Okay, I said first name Major Dhyan Chand, second name Shri Sachin Tendulkar, third name Shri Abhinav Bindra, fourth name Shri Neeraj Chopra. And after taking the fourth name, I immediately paused because I thought I have written badminton in the sports section. So I must take a name from the badminton. So as soon as I took the name of Miss PV Sindhu, sir was like, oh you boy, I was just going to catch you that you have not named a female athlete. And here I was having a very wry smile on my face कि यार मैं तो सोच रहा था कि बैडमिंटन से नाम ले दो सर, जेंडर वैल्यू चेक करें, लेकिन अपना काम हो गया, चलो अच्छी बात है. And everybody cracked up. So that was the moment which happened in the initial 5 minutes, and it helped me to loosen out. Like it relieved my stress, and it just like initiated that smooth conversation which went on. And so the worst moment was there was a lady member. We were talking about, she asked me open-ended question on north-south divide. So we were having some discussion on this, and at a moment I felt ki I have gone beyond a certain boundary where I have countered her opinion. And at that moment I was able to see a bit of frustration on her face. So my heart at that moment literally sank. Oh my God, Shreyak, you have literally just your interviews, you have just done back to your interview at that moment.
Right. So once you came back from the interview, धौलपुर हाउस के जब आप बाहर निकले, आई एम श्योर वहाँ बहुत लोग वैसे भी खड़े होते हैं ना बताने के लिए कि इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस कैसा था.
Yes sir.
उनको देना नहीं होता इंटरव्यू वैसे. But like okay, you came back. What did you do after that?
Sir, actually I was the first interview in the afternoon session.
Okay.
So I came back as soon as I went in, and my parents were very surprised. अभी तो अंदर गया था, अभी बाहर आ गया, ये क्या इंटरव्यू हुआ? But I was having that calm and confidence within me कि okay, I have done that much. How much I have prepared? ठीक है कि जितना मैं प्रिपेयर कर पाया 20 दिन में मैंने उतना दे दिया, and I was happy with my efforts.
तो अभी जैसे आप मुझे बता रहे थे when the result came, उस टाइम पे आप environment की क्लास देख रहे थे.
Yes sir.
तो कैसे डिसाइड की, मतलब what time did you take then उसके बाद, and again how that mindset, because this is I think something which probably I don't have, right? मतलब ये बहुत ही इंस्पायरिंग लग रहा है मुझे कि आप इंटरव्यू दे के आए हो एंड विदाउट केयरिंग अबाउट व्हाट द रिजल्ट विल बी, व्हाट विल हैपन, आप फिर से प्रीलिम्स के लिए तैयार हो गए हो पढ़ने के लिए. तो वो ट्रांजिशन कैसे हुआ?
So as I said, rest of the 20 days of January I used for detoxification, and from the February I took my prelims 2024 and mains 2024 papers. And one thing which I did on the day of exam, that like if prelims was on 16th of June, and when I came out of examination hall, I just used to write down ki whatever my instinctive feeling was, ki what are my weaknesses. So in that phase, in the February of 2025, I just see those instinctive feelings that I have written, and there I knew कि these are my working points. Here I have to work.
तो क्या थे working points prelims में?
Sir, prelims में my working point was I have to revise it much more well, because 2024 prelims was much more conceptually oriented rather than 2023. 2024 was something where guesswork did not work that much. Maybe that's why my score dropped. So I knew कि I have to get better at my concepts, much more better at my concepts. I have to revise them more. And for mains, again, I have to focus on essay and ethics. And since by 2024 prelims, all credits to you, I had compiled notes of GS3 with value added. So I knew कि GS3 is something now in my hands. If I can prepare it well, I can go till 90+ and all. So these were the reasons that I started to prepare for that.
So I think one thing that I've taken from your journey till this point is the fact that regardless of the result, your attitude has been कि this is where I was lacking, I'll analyze myself and I'll improve. Yes. And just keep going with that regardless of what the result will be or what the outcome will be.
Yes, sir.
तो ये mindset में रहना कितना मुश्किल है and how much does it help?
Sir, as I just told you earlier, like in 2023 or 2022, when I was in my internship, I took 2-3 months to follow the topper stocks and those things. So on the basis of those, when I started my prep in January 2023, I came back to home and I told my dad 3 things. That these are the 3 mantras. First thing, I'm not going to tell anyone. Only the 4 or 5 people that are living within my home will know that I'm preparing for this examination.
अच्छा, तो relatives को क्या लग रहा था कि NEET PG की तैयारी कर रहे हो?
Yes, sir. They were feeling that. Secondly, I will not go for coaching. And third, we will not focus on marks. We will only focus on progress. Even for that matter, like I gave 20 full-length tests for 2023 prelims, 20 for 2024. But I never calculated my marks. My objective was always one thing. If I attempt 99 questions, I should get 60 or 61 right. Because if I get that right, I will clear the prelims.
Right.
So I think that mindset I cultivated very early in my preparation. In fact, before I started my preparation, and it carried me throughout.
Right. And I also think that this is the reason why you are able to कैसे interview देने के बाद भी you are able to come back and study and keep going. So now let's come to the actual day, D-Day in April.
Yes, sir.
Tell me the story of that day.
Sir, there is nothing specific story. Actually, it was just like a normal day. There were like.
आपको पता था उस दिन रिजल्ट आने वाला है?
Yes, sir, I knew because by that moment I was on Telegram, so they were telling कि results are coming. But sir, as I said, कि I have learned a lot from this journey. This journey was about self-discovery, learning from your own mistakes. As I mentioned earlier, I wasted 10 days, the first 10 days of the summer, waiting for the mains result.
Right.
In that anxiety, I decided this time कि I'm not going to wait for any kind of results. I'm not going to be anxious about the results. Yes, there will be a little bit of anxiety, but I want to keep it under control. So even before 22nd of April, when the results came out, I was, for the last week, I gave 50 hours in my prep. Proper, I was studying. Yes,
that's a lot.
Yeah, there was anxiety, but I was somehow able to control it. And if I talk about the D-Day, I think the results, I knew results about 1:58 p.m. And before that, I had already given 4 hours of my time. I was studying ecology. And when the result came out, I was still studying at that moment. And I used to ask my mom कि आप बाहर से दरवाजा बंद कर दो. And she used to just sleep outside because we have a bed outside. And then when I knew about the result, I started banging on door, kholo, 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 kholo. And as soon as I came out, 35. So my mom, my brother, and my dad, and we were all like 35, 35, 35, 35. We were all like dancing.
Result के बाद क्या हुआ? So like you were saying, you were watching the environment. कौन सा subject था? कौन सा topic था?
It's a Wildlife Protection Act, Indian laws.
याद है? That's great.
Actually, I left it in the middle. In fact, for the next 2 days, my phone with your video, with those notes, kept right there because I was not able to enter into that room after the results.
Right. Result के बाद what changes? I think this is something that people need to know because जैसे आप बता रहे हो आपके relatives को नहीं पता था that you were preparing and like mostly you were preparing in isolation at your home. Mostly your parents knew. What changes? What suddenly becomes different after the result?
So result came at 2 o'clock, and in the next 6 hours till 8 o'clock, I have seen so many people that I have not seen cumulatively in the last 2 years of my prep. So that was the one thing. In those 6 hours, I have to speak so much. Like people were forcing words out of me because I was an introvert person that I have not spoken like cumulatively in the last 2 years. For the next 6 hours, my phone was ringing, messaging, like anything. like it not had happened in the last 2 years. So it was more of a shock to me because उससे पहले सर एक मीम देखा था टेलीग्राम ग्रुप पे, उसमें वो बाहुबली वाला एक सीन था कि रिजल्ट से जस्ट पहले कि यूपीएससी सीएससी टॉपर्स भी लाइक ये जिन लोगों को मैं आज तक मिला भी नहीं इनका मैं भगवान कैसे बन गया. तो when I was watching that meme, I thought कि मेरा तो नहीं आने वाला टॉप 100 में, तो अपन को ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी. But I was facing the very similar problem.
तो फिर क्या हुआ उसके बाद? Like I'm sure like ऐसे जब you got so many calls and messages and all of that, do you think this culture is not the best?
Yes, sir. I think this is not a very good culture. And if you ask me, like after 2 days, after almost 40 years, when I was able to get into my senses, I realized the social dichotomy which is associated with this exam. Here you are preparing for this. When you tell the decision to prepare for this exam, even if you tell your relatives, everybody will promote you. But when you are going to fill your DAF for the interview and you tell them that your first preference is foreign services, so those very people will try to demotivate you ki don't take this thing or just like this. Secondly, the kind of status they give you, because I have just cleared a theoretical examination. I'm not practicing this profession at the moment. I've not contributed to the nation or the society as of now. I've just done it for myself at the moment. But that expectations, like they are just, I would say it's totally unimaginative thing, unbelievable thing that so much of social prestige is associated with this one exam.
Were your relatives disappointed when you told them that you're finally going to the foreign service? उनको तो लगा होगा ना कि IAS बन गया है हमारा लड़का, quote unquote.
Sir, in fact, this is like my first podcast. Even before this, 90% of people who have come, they think IAS is my first preference. Somewhere will get cadre of North Zone or this. But yes, some relatives were definitely disappointed when they knew कि foreign services.
क्योंकि अब उनका फायदा नहीं कर सकते थे.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, like after you did that, once that was done and once the result came, did you actually feel happiness, or was there some other emotion that you felt?
So, a very apt question. Like after almost 4 to 5 days, I see so many people being very happy around me. Like I've seen very old people jumping out of their wheelchairs and celebrating. And I was here asking myself, why I'm not able to feel that real happiness. Yes, I was able to feel happy, but that happiness came from watching my parents being happy. But now I realize that I will be literally very happy when that allocation list comes, because that was my goal throughout. That was the thing which I wanted to. That was my personal and professional vision. So that will be the moment when I will feel really happy.
Right. And what about relief?
Yes, sir. That was the best feeling. That was the one feeling that was the most important feeling, that you don't have to give this exam again. You don't have to go into this vicious cycle, and you have just made it. You will be going to attend FC. You don't have to think twice whether you will attend FC or not. So relief was the most important feeling.
Right. But again, I think with you, and this is where I'll end and then ask questions of the people who have been kind enough to join us today. The thing is that I think with you at least we can say with confidence that अगर आपको देना भी पड़ जाता paper,
yes,
that's what you don't have to give it again. But like even if you had to, I am pretty sure with the kind of mindset that you have, that you would have been able to give your best even in the attempts going forward. The fact is that I think this is something that I was lacking in my prep. मेरे को हो गया था यार 2 attempt बाद के भाई बस थोड़ा सा मुझे break चाहिए, because it's a very very tiring, long, draining journey. But I think this is something which I am also learning from you, and this is pretty inspirational that even after these 2 very serious attempts, just after a 10 days break you were ready to improve on the same things that you had improved on last year. कुछ एक point के बाद यार वो तो खत्म हो जाता है ना कि कुछ नया है, कुछ innovative है. It's the same things that you have to read, but उसमें वो effort देना और उसी चीज़ों को दोबारा पढ़ना फिर से with the same enthusiasm, I think that's very difficult. So before we go to questions from the audience, any advice that you'd like to give as to how one can cultivate this mindset?
So my one advice would be that you should have a strong conviction. You should have that clarity of purpose, that why you are shifting from any field to the civil services and why you are coming into this, and like you should like study from the previous year toppers, how they have gone about this thing. And similarly learn from those things. And moreover, UPSC journey is about a self-discovery. You have to keep looking within yourself. You have to keep
Right.
introspecting yourself and improve upon each and every step. So that will be my only advice, sir.
Right, wonderful. I think now we can have a few questions from the people who have come here.
Yes,
So
sir,
anybody
would
who'd
love.
like to ask him a question, you can just raise your hand and we'll just transfer the mic to you. Just tell your name and then the question, right? Him first. Yeah, we'll come to you. Yeah.
So my name is C. Piyush Goyal. So as you told कि आपके स्टेक में बहुत मतलब आप डॉक्टर थे तो आपको बहुत स्टेक में बहुत कुछ था और आपको प्रेशर आता था. सेम फीलिंग मुझे भी आती है ड्यूरिंग माई प्रिपरेशन. आई एम गिविंग माई बेस्ट लाइक 8 to 10 आवर्स. पर इसको हैंडल कैसे करें क्योंकि ये बहुत बार आपको एक हफ्ते में एक बार तो होता है कि हिट बहुत ज़ोर से करता है. आपकी पढ़ाई अच्छी चल रही है बट हफ्ते में एक बार होता है आपका एक इवनिंग ख़राब हो जाता है. तो आप उसको वापस बाउंस बैक कैसे करते थे?
See, ये होता है एज यू सेड कि यू पॉइंटेड आउट इट राइटली कि एक हफ्ते में एक बार तो ऐसा आता है कि पूरा एक सेशन ही वाइप ऑफ हो जाता है. बट जस्ट एक्सेप्ट इट. समटाइम्स यू कुड नॉट डू एनीथिंग रादर देन जस्ट टू एक्सेप्ट इट. ठीक है, कोई नहीं, आज का दिन चलेगा. यू हैव टू गिव योर सेल्फ अ बिट ऑफ लीवे. डोंट बी हार्श ऑन योर सेल्फ बिकॉज देर इज अ लिमिट दैट यू कैन फेस अ प्रेशर ऑफ. सो आई यूज टू जस्ट एक्सेप्ट इट. गया आज का दिन. उससे क्या होता है कि गिल्ट भी थोड़ा कम आता है. एंड देन अगेन गेट बैक टू इट द वेरी नेक्स्ट डे. And if you have that very strong conviction that yes, this is the reason that I am doing it, then you will keep on doing it.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, next please. I think ma'am go.
Hello, sir. Sir, my name is Khushi Solanki.
Yeah.
Very heartfelt congratulations to you, sir,
Thank
for
you very
winning
much.
this UPSC war, emerging quite victorious with a good rank. And so, with this regard, I would like to highlight that you really, while you were talking, highlighted the point that NCRTs are very important for the conceptual clarity and the preparation basics. So, I myself, starting with the history NCRTs, have found that there are a lot of facts, and one way is you go it to the story wise thing. So, which is the preferred way to go with NCRTs? To take it as a story or to learn it through all the pages? How we should actually approach, because it increases twice the resources of ours. It's very important to understand the approach for them.
Okay, I think you should go story wise. In the very first reading of NCRT, just try to read it through like a novel. Do a novel reading. Just try to understand what's the broad thing that they are trying to convey. And as you go through the multiple readings, one with the pencil, then with the pen, then with the highlighter, you will get to know what are the points that you have to take away from it. So first you have to go in a story wise, then but do it repeated times, because that repetition helps you to point out those specific things. Otherwise, if you will do it in the first attempt, you will literally end up copying the whole of NCRT.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Hi sir, myself Shivam Singh. I want to ask some 2 or 3 questions. Sir, is it allowed now?
अरे
Okay.
पूछ लो,
So
कोई
my
बात
first
नहीं.
one is the role of location.
Role of?
Location, like Karol Bagh and ORN, is that much important nowadays or not? Like you
I
have-
think it's not at all important. In today's generation, you can prepare much more in a better way from your home.
No, I would second that. My first time, I think, the first time I've come to an ORN classroom is on the teacher's side, never on the student side. So I think I can second that. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, what about other examination? Like if you are preparing for UPSC, can you think for the other exam? Like I'm good at mathematics and reasoning, so can I opt for SSC and all?
See, I have not gone into these examinations, so I think I might not be the best person to answer that. But just don't bring too much on your plate. Maybe one exam, that's my opinion. Maybe one exam as a plan B, but don't keep 2 or 3 exams in with the UPSC, because UPSC in itself is a full-time prep.
Right.
And my last question is regarding resources, sir. Actually, in polity, you get a lots of resource. So how to limit that?
Ruthless limitation of resources. You have to be ruthless. Like NCRT जो है, NCRT तो करनी है और बस एक स्टैंडर्ड बुक. मेरा मंत्रा था कि एक, 0 भी होगा तब भी चलेगा, but you have to just have one, not
Sir,
more than one.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Sir, in prelims we have one resource, that is Lakshmikant. Sir, in mains you have to do a lots of value addition like pros, cons, if you're getting parliamentary form of government, why it is so. So different resources. So how to limit that actually?
Yeah, see, for the value addition, the more you practice, the more you revise, the more the value will be added. Like if you write more of test papers, you will revise those test papers from the answer keys, or you can say the model answers, and then from there you can add into your notes. So that will help in your value addition. There is no single source for value addition.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Well,
All the best to you. Success.
thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Shivin sir. Good afternoon, Shreyak sir. My name is Simran Pal Teji, and first of all, congratulations on your glorious win. Sir, I want to point out this fact that you had a backup of medical science. If there is a aspirant who does not have a backup and also not a reliable plan B. See, my plan B for the time is my state service, and the one who has not cleared the prelims from the past 2 years. Overall, I have there been a lot of flaws and lot of pros and cons in my preparation, but now when I joined Sarrthi IAS, my preparation has come on a track, but still I'm not confident about my prelims that I'm going to give. How can I manage that thing? I mean, I think that my self doubt has just ruined my preparation and everything. So what mindset can a student who doesn't have a backup and a proper plan B, what can now keep me going in this preparation further?
See, in my personal opinion, having a plan B helps you to cultivate that kind of mindset which is required to clear UPSC examination, because you feel like you have a safety net. So if you have gone for 2 attempts or 3 attempts, 3 attempts at max, you should have a reliable plan B and you should already be working on it. In fact, I remember my parents asked me the very same question, and I said to them, see, if I'm not able to clear it in 2 attempts, then UPSC will be my plan B, but plan A will be something much more reliable, much more like future oriented.
I'd
Sir,
just
you-
like to weigh in here for
Yeah.
a minute. I mean, I think more than having a plan B, it's more about knowing that you can have a plan B. I think the uncertainty will hurt you more than the actual, problem. So, जैसे अब आप third attempt दे रहे हो, even if you tell yourself that after the third attempt, I will, before I start studying for the next attempt or any other exam, including your state service, you will first find a plan B, execute it to a point where you know it's reliable, and then go for something else. Even that will reduce your anxiety. वो जो unknown होता है ना कि यार फिर क्या करेंगे, वो fear ज़्यादा है rather than actually executing it. Like Shreyak, for example, or I can say this in my case also, for example, मेरा बिल्कुल मन नहीं था मेडिसिन पे जाने का, but knowing that I could go, that gives you a lot of certainty कि यार ठीक है, अगर नहीं भी होगा तो कुछ है. वो कुछ है हमारी mental security के लिए बहुत ज़रूरत होता है. शायद हमें end में उसकी need ना feel हो, but it's required in just to keep our nerves calm when we're having a difficult day or a difficult week, etc. So even if you were to plan that okay, after this attempt, regardless of ho gaya to obviously you'll give mains. If you don't, you say that okay, I'll first make a plan B, fix it, and then come back to the prep. Even that will work. आपकी वो जो mental uncertainty है, उसको हटाना ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है rather than anything else.
Sir, also if I talk about now, my state PCS is also there. So if the prelims don't work out, unfortunately, I don't want it. But if it, then I will go for state PCS. But if it also doesn't happen, I mean, a lot of just uncertainties is clicking me. I mean, from the starting, like this whole year had been a roller coaster journey for me. Although I feel that I am a bit confident regarding the preparation, but still this uncertainty, self-doubt, anxiety is just killing me. As you just said that the 2024 mains wala time was insomnia. Sir, I felt the same. I have even reached a psychiatrist, had medicines of insomnia, some anxiety and everything, but still even I feel that even after giving my 100%, I still don't get the surety, and then it just ruins entire day everything. I just don't know that how to cope up this thing, like how I can make my mindset strong regarding the preparation, even after knowing that this is my purpose to join the to become a bureaucrat.
Okay, first thing, are you giving this upcoming prelims?
Yes,
She
sir.
is.
Okay, you are giving. So all the very best for this.
Thank
My
you.
best wishes. And see, just 3 days. I think it's 3 or 4
Yeah.
days.
Yes,
of the
yes,
place.
Sunday
yes.
को
So don't think about all these things. As soon as you get out of this place, just go there, study, and try to give your best. When the results come out, then only think of this thing. Because if you make it through the prelims, you will forget this uncertainty and fear, because you will be into the mains preparation. So at the moment, just keep it aside. Just keep it aside. You have only 3 days. So it's a crucial time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I think we'll just take one last question. So, I mean, one last formal question. You can still ask questions from us. उसके बाद.
Hi sir, I'm Mohan Murli. How could you determine yourself? How could you determine yourself whether your preparation is correct, is in a correct way or wrong way? How could you determine?
Yeah, that was the question I'm waiting for. Actually, one way is that you look at the marks, but we all know how much subjectivity is there related to the marks. So my mantra was to know whether I'm progressing in the right direction or not. Was whether I'm able to revise that very same thing in the less duration or not. Like if I tell you about my 2025 prelims prep, so I was able to complete polity within 9 days. And before in 2024 or 2023, I was never able to complete polity in less than, you can say, 3 weeks. So when I was able to complete in 9 days, it gave me a different level of confidence. Yes, that yes, I'm on the right track. So as soon as your time keeps cutting down for revising and repeating those same things, that's an indicator that you are in the right direction and that you are making progress.
And one thing, sir,
Yeah.
whether you can't complete a full topic, full complete within exam time, would you regret about that? What you know?
If I left, I'm not able to understand what you're trying to say.
If you are not complete one full topic regarding to that particular topic within exam time,
Yeah.
if you can't complete, would you regret, or would you leave it that topic aside?
No, I won't regret. Actually, I've told you that there was a strict prioritization order. So if I've left something of, you can say, GS1 or 2 because it comes low in the priority order, then I won't be like having guilt about it, because these are my focus areas. These are the things which will be giving me more marks with the least amount of effort. And see, it's a huge syllabus. Irrespective of what, there will be some things that you might not be able to cover. For example, if I tell you from medical science, there was one whole topic which was asked as a 10-marker question. I totally missed out and I had to leave that question there in the exam. But I had not any guilt because it was a mistake on my part. Okay, I missed it. But still, you have to go for prioritization.
All right, I think we'll just end there. And I just like to thank you very much for your time and for coming here. And I mean, thank you more for the inspirational insights that you've given us. And all the best. I hope you have a great time in Labasna.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
sir. I'm glad to be here, and it was honor to meet with you and discuss with all the students.
All right. Thank you, Shreyak.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for being here.